Christopher Aron was walking around his daughter's bedroom, just tidying up and making sure everything was in order before bedtime. It was a quiet night, but as he moved through the room, he couldn't shake the strange feeling crawling over him. It was like the air had shifted, or as if he wasn't completely alone. Trusting his instincts, he pulled out his phone and started recording, hoping he was just being overly cautious.
Cat's downstairs. It wasn't her. I guess that's my son. Any other signs? Can you open the other door? Can you open the other oven door? Will you open the other door? Thank you. Now I know you're here. Can I get any other sign? Any other sign at all?
In the footage, the toy oven door slowly creaked open by itself. There's no one near it, no vibrations, no obvious cause. The motion is smooth and unsettling, as if something unseen had deliberately opened it. Christopher stands still for a moment, caught off guard, then lowers the camera with a confused expression. After checking the toy thoroughly and finding nothing wrong, no loose parts or built-in springs, he steps out of the room. He replays the footage a few times in the hallway, growing more uneasy with each watch. It wasn't dramatic, but it felt too intentional to ignore. Something about that quiet, controlled movement gave him chills. He doesn't want to jump to conclusions, but he also can't forget what he saw. Whatever is happening, it's real enough to keep him on edge. Just after midnight, Leandro was lying in bed when he heard strange rustling noises coming from the back room. At first, he thought maybe something had fallen, but the sounds kept going, too sharp, too deliberate. Curious and slightly on edge, he grabbed his phone and walked over to check it out.
1 de julho de 2023. Nunca deixe sua porta aberta, ou isso vai acontecer na sua casa.
Será que é gato que tá aqui? Mexendo nas coisas? Mas não tem ninguém aqui. Ai, caramba. Acho que tem alguém aí. Que isso? Para! Que isso? Quem tá aí? Tranquei. Meu Deus, cara. Mãe.
O que tá acontecendo?
Não sei. Parece que tem alguém aqui.
Nossa, tem que parar pra ver esses vídeos aqui. Eu tô com medo já dessas coisas. Não tem ninguém,
Mas...
tem batendo na porta e vem que...
When he opened the door, the entire room was in disarray. Items were scattered all over the place, as if something had been tearing through it in a frenzy. It reminded him of the way a cat might destroy a room, but the problem was, he didn't have a cat. He stood there in silence for a moment, trying to process what he was seeing, then stepped back out and shut the door. That's when the handle began to rattle violently, like something was trying to get out. Startled, Leandro flung the door open again, but this time, the room was completely still. No movement, no sound, no sign of anyone or anything inside. He checked the back door too, just in case. It was locked, dead-bolted, no way in or out. Now he's even more unsettled than before, knowing whatever it was didn't leave through the door, if it left at all. It was just past midnight when the mother heard her baby moving around through the monitor. At first, it sounded like normal restlessness, but something about it made her uneasy. She grabbed the infant optics camera and tuned in for a better look, just to be sure everything was all right.
Okay, that's not possible. Is that the light? What the fuck is that? What is that? What is it? Look at the way, look! It's lingering. Is it the light outside? Like, what is happening right now? There's no other light. How is this possible? Like, there's no pinhole empty. Like, the curtains, I pulled the curtains closed. You guys, what the fuck is this? And it's not leaving. It's getting near her. Oh my god. Did she just touch it? Where did it go?
On the screen, a strange glowing orb was floating slowly around the crib. It wasn't dust, and it wasn't a reflection. The light had direction, almost like it was exploring. Then it drifted closer to the baby, and just as her child reached out and touched it, the light vanished instantly, as if it had never been there at all. The mother's heart dropped. She rushed into the room but found nothing unusual, just her baby lying calmly in the crib, looking up at her. The whole thing felt surreal. She checked the camera feed again to make sure she hadn't imagined it. The footage was still there, clear as day. Some believe orbs like that are signs of spirits or lingering energy, and if that's true, she's not sure what it wanted with her child. Since that night, she hasn't left the camera off for a single second. Jason and a few of his friends were messing around inside the old county jail, a place long since shut down and barely touched. His dad knew the building manager, so getting access wasn't hard. They weren't ghost hunters, not even close. They were just teenagers filming a parody of those ghost shows, goofing around and pretending to chase spirits. Nothing serious, just laughs. But everything changed when they got back and started editing the footage.
All right, so we're in the phase of the investigation now where everybody breaks off in their own little areas with, a handy cam, and we're just sort of checking around to see if we can find anything on our own. And hopefully, each one of us finds our own evidence, our own personal stories. Just sort of checking around.
In one of the shots, as Jason walks past a holding cell window, something unnatural comes into view. There's a face, clear as day, right behind the glass. It's not Jason, and it's not his friends, who were all accounted for at the booking desk behind the camera. The cell itself was locked and being used for storage. But in the frame, a man's face is pressed against the glass, like he's screaming in silence. And as Jason's body moves past the window, the face fades away like smoke. They hadn't noticed it while filming, only later. Jason swears that room was empty. He doesn't know who it was, and he doesn't really want to. Whatever they caught in that cell wasn't part of the joke. William Davies had long suspected his house was haunted, but that night he felt something more than just eerie. A cold chill made him uneasy, like something bad was about to happen. Wanting to capture whatever was causing the strange sensations, he set up his camera in the kitchen and started recording.
Shit. The fuck? Can't be normal. I can't take any more of this. Battery's going dead. Fucking piece of shit. What? Makes no fucking sense. Something's there. Something's definitely there. You alright, Benja? You alright? Can you send some? You can send some, can't you? They're there, aren't they? I can see you, just see you in the corner there, dog.
The footage shows the cupboard door opening all by itself. William quickly closes it, but moments later it opens again on its own. He shuts it once more, only to feel a sudden movement behind him. He turns around slowly, his heart pounding, convinced something unseen is right there. The atmosphere in the room feels heavy and filled with a dark presence. William didn't stay to find out more. He decided it was time to call in professional help to figure out exactly what was haunting his home. Whatever was there wasn't going to let him rest easy anytime soon. Wyatt's daughter suddenly started crying in the middle of the night, so he went into her room to check on her and decided to record just in case something unusual was happening.
Days like today are no fun. No fun at all.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Can you get it now?
Stay there. Come on, buddy. Yeah, you can go. Come on. It's okay.
The footage shows the basement door rattling heavily on its own. Wyatt walks over and checks behind the door, but finds nothing there. Then the pantry door starts rattling the same way, and he moves back and forth between the two doors, each time finding no explanation for the noises. Feeling unsettled, he chooses to take his daughter back to her room to calm her down. After that night, Wyatt decided it was time to bring in a priest to bless the home, hoping to put an end to whatever restless presence was causing the disturbances, and finally bring some peace to his family. Whether this solution worked or not, I do not know, but all I can do is wish this family all of the luck that I can. A big family was all gathered in the living room, excited because the eldest brother had just come home and they were planning to go to the movies soon. While everyone was getting ready, one of the kids asked for some cereal from the pantry. A week later, out of curiosity, they decided to watch back some footage from that day.
Jody, what are you doing?
Waiting for you. When are we gonna go see the movie?
After we eat, we'll go to the movie. My dad is in town. Mike Webb, say hello.
Hello, say hello.
Hello, and my new mom.
Can I get something to eat?
Yes,
All
go
right.
for it.
Just cereal for now. And eat on the counter.
Jody, you're not feeling good? Oh, no. After the movie, you'll feel fine.
As the camera pans toward the pantry, a shadowy figure can be seen standing just inside, staring right at them. The spirit's presence was unnoticed at the time, but now it is clear something or someone was watching them that whole afternoon. The family is left shaken, but also curious about what else might be lingering in their home. They have started considering calling in a professional to investigate further, hoping to understand if the presence is harmless or something they need to take seriously. For now, they are on high alert, keeping a closer eye on the pantry and the rest of the house. The family kept noticing more strange things happening around the pantry. The main issue was that the pantry would open by itself every night it was closed when they went to sleep, but mysteriously open by morning. The eldest son decided to stay up one night and film it for himself.
Okay, it's 12:34.
In the footage, the pantry door slowly creaks open on its own again, and just as the kid reaches out to close it, a ghostly apparition appears pressed against the glass, its hands clearly visible. Shocked but determined, he quickly opens the pantry door to check if someone or something was really inside, but there was nothing there. The family is now more unsettled than ever and debating whether to bring in a specialist or try to cleanse the house themselves as they try to figure out what the spirit wants and how to safely move forward. Expert John came around to investigate, confident he would quickly prove there was nothing going on. At first, nothing happened, and he started to think the eldest son was just imagining things, but then things took a turn.
Hi, I'm John. It's day 10, 12:03 a.m. Still nothing happening.
Go. Dude. Look out. Oh my God. What the? I don't know. That's crazy. Dude. I told you. Let's get out of here. Go.
In the footage, you can hear slow, heavy breathing coming from behind the pantry door, and soon after, the same ghostly hands appear pressed against the glass again. John reaches out and actually touches them, but before he can react, a sudden face jump scares him on camera. When he opens the door, there's still nothing there. After this intense encounter, the family decided it was time to seriously consider moving out. They just couldn't live with whatever was haunting their pantry and disrupting their lives. A worker was having a great day at work due to how little customers they were getting, which meant that he received more breaks during his shift. At around 1 p.m., he decided that he was going to eat his dinner earlier because of this privilege. But little did he know that something else would be in the room with him. He was usually all alone in the break room, but not this time. This time was far worse than the fear of loneliness.
Okay, so I'm sitting here eating my lunch, and that apple just moved. Oh shit!
For some reason, an apple moved a slight distance, and this caused the worker to take out his phone and begin to film the incident. He thought that nothing else would happen, but recording would be worth the slight chance, and it paid off. He managed to capture the apple and make an almighty movement off from the table, and it was clear that nothing visible caused this. Furthermore, it would take some mighty wind to cause that, and based on the fact that it was indoors and nothing else was moving, this was not the cause. There is only one real solution. It was a ghost. George and the rest of his family were all in the kitchen waiting for their mother to serve dinner when all of a sudden they noticed something really out of the ordinary going on. One of the cups that they had set up on the table for dinner started to move on its own accord, and George thought this was a good time to record. It is important to note that nobody in the house had ever experienced anything paranormal before, and this was a first-time experience, making it much more mysterious.
No, Jenny. Mira. Nobody here. Mira.
Moving?
Mira, pues. ¡Ay, tú! Ya va llegando acá. ¿Sí sabes hacer o no? Porque ven las cosas que aquí asustan. Ay.
As you can see, the cup was moving without anybody interacting with it, and as far as we could tell, no force was acting upon it either. No matter how much you zoom in or how slow you actually make the video, it does not show any signs of strings or items that could have interfered with the incident. This video seems to be very authentic, and I fear for the family, but if you find anything wrong with it, then feel free to let me know in the comment section. In the following video, Thomas was in his room drinking some booze and watching television about the paranormal when something fitting to the activity happened. When the event happened, Tom did not believe that his eyes were seeing what they were due to the amount of booze he had put into his system, and it could have easily been a hallucination. Fortunately though, he was smart enough to have taken out his phone and started recording the situation so that later on he could look back and see if it was truly real again. And to his surprise, it was. But before I show you the footage, did you know that your paranormal footage can actually be included in future Haunter videos? All you have to do is email hauntedvofical@gmail.com with your footage alongside a description of the backstory and what happened, and you have a chance to be featured. Anyway, here is the clip.
I was laying in bed watching some goddamn shit. This turned off. Then I went to go grab a drink, and for some... Are you fucking joking? Can you please stop? Do you see? This is starting to get more fucking sketched out, actually, to be honest with you. Like, I'm starting to get more scared. Like, as we go along.
Strangely, the glass bottle moved by itself and had Tom questioning whether he had drunk a few shots too many. After this incident, Tom took no action on the ghost, praying that it was a one-time occurrence, and due to no more updates since the incident, we are left in the dark too. All that we can do is hope the spirit left him after this. Ethan was in the short period of his life where he had no responsibilities, as he had decided to take a gap year before entering his university studies. The year was coming to an end, and his mother agreed that for the final month he could live in her house one last time, and Ethan was maximizing this opportunity by having fun with all of the items that he cherished. One thing that he loved was the dartboard, and as a child, he used to play with it every single morning without fail. This is why he is such a good darts player. However, on what could be his last ever time playing with the board, something extraordinary happened, and here it is.
Dark time. Good old red. What the?
What did you do?
Nothing. The garbage can just fell off the table.
Are you sure you didn't hit it or something?
No, it was over by the piano. Okay, I'm done playing darts for a while.
Just after he threw his third and final dart, a bucket on the table beside the dartboard collapsed to the ground, and the thud was so loud that even Ethan's mother heard it. She later asked Ethan for the video once he said what happened, and they both had a similar thought come into their minds. Ethan's father had passed away 3 months ago, and one thing he used to always do when playing darts is throw something to the ground to put his opponent off. It made sense that this could have been him, but was it far-fetched to say? Not in my opinion. A paranormal surge is far worse than other paranormal situations, and the reason for this is quite obvious, but let me explain what one is first. In basic terms, it is when more than 5 haunting incidents happen within a minute of each other and can mean one of 2 things. You are either dealing with an extremely powerful spirit, typically an evil one, or you are dealing with several spirits that are working together to make your life a misery. The video that I am about to show you perfectly encaptivated a paranormal surge, and it was an extremely bad one. All sorts of things happened, and surprisingly, calling this a paranormal surge would be a bit of an understatement. The way things were happening in all sorts of rooms says to me that this was the act of several normal spirits, but it is not unheard of for a demon to cause this much distress by itself. The DS family is a family that posts their shenanigans to TikTok for the world to see, and they are actually pretty big with a follower count of 44,000. Their content used to be innocent and fun with their kids doing all sorts of goofy things, but nowadays that fun and quirky side is long gone. This is because they started to get haunted by a poltergeist that they have not been able to identify or combat, and it always seems to show itself at nighttime when the children are asleep. Here is a video of the mother catching the ghost in the act, as per usual. All sorts of ghostly noises and knocks happened around the house, and it is important to note that only the mother and the children were in the house. It was evident that the children were sleeping and the mother was filming, so none of them could have made these sounds happen. This was most definitely the return of their haunter. This was the last straw for the mother, and she is currently in contact with a ghost hunter over cleansing her household. Feel free to wish her luck in the comments. There are all sorts of methods that a spirit can use to haunt you, and one of the most fear-instilling ones is called an apparition. An apparition is when a ghost shows itself to the real world, whether it is as an orb, a shadow, or a full-fledged human being, reincarnation. But the word doesn't tend to be thrown out there for something as simple as an orb. In the upcoming video, all kinds of things happen, and at first the woman believes it is the ghost of a child, and you will likely think the same. However, she does end up being disproved. As you could see, all kinds of things were happening, but they were centered around the kids' toys, which is what led the woman to believe the poltergeist was that of a little child. Little did she know that the scariest was yet to come. As she looked into the window, she could see a shadow taller than her leaning over her shoulder. And if this truly was the shadow of the spirit causing all of this, then it could not have been a kid. She had every right to feel the most terrified she had ever been, and she took her daughter Lucy to sleep at her grandma's for the foreseeable future to keep her safe. Over the past 10 or so videos on this channel, we have included clips from the exact same exploration, and I am proud to announce that this saga is finally going to come to an end. I am talking about the Midwest ghost hunter's adventure into a haunted manor, and he spent the entire night alone there, capturing all sorts of paranormal instances, hence why we were able to gather so much content from it. Well, all that I have to say is enjoy the last ones.
What is that? Those look like almost like fingernail clippings in there. Yeah, I'm definitely not touching those. What is that? Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? What was that? It was the coat hanger! How do you explain that? Oh, I'm sorry, Hank. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I'll leave you alone if you want me to. Do you want me to leave? Okay. I'm leaving. I am out of here. Is there anyone in any of these rooms? Right now I'm just taking pictures everywhere. Is there anybody in this room? What was that? That was a crazy weird sound. It came from the bathroom. Over here. Is there somebody in there? Whoa, it almost looks like somebody's in there. What the heck is that? It just looked like somebody's sitting, like in the bathtub.
The spirit started creating thudding noises, and it was almost as if it was trying to lure the Midwest ghost hunter to the location it wanted. Due to the ghost hunter wanting to find paranormal activity, it followed both of the thuds, which led him to a bathtub, and what he saw was most definitely jaw-dropping. A mist appeared to be sitting in the tub, and when he looked away and back for a split second, it was gone. Being the brave man he is, the Midwest ghost hunter was not going to let this slide, though. He went in to investigate.
But for the sake of research, there's nobody. Damn, that was creepy. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. Whoa! Oh! That freaking curtain just moved! Oh God, how do you explain that now? This is so freaking crazy. I'm speechless. I mean, what the hell? So this is room 17 and 18. And this is where all those assaults took place. Now, that sounds pretty horrible on paper, but a lot of people theorize that it may not have actually been assaults, but instead...
As he theorized, the apparition had completely vanished from the tub, and he was ready to leave the room, but suddenly the curtain moved alone. This might be the last we see of his manor exploration, but this will not be the last we see of the Midwest ghost hunter, so subscribe. Also, don't forget to email your ghostly findings to hauntedofficial@gmail.com with a description for me to create a story round. The following video was uploaded to YouTube on August the 6th of 2010 by a user called Looker2, who we don't have much information on. In this particular instance though, he was educating his potential viewers on how to install mods for a video game on PC, but little did he know what was going to happen during this recording. He wasn't able to progress further than even the intro when this happened.
Hey guys, this is Looker2. I'm gonna make a modding tutorial video. So here it is. Alright. It's weird. Alright, so anyway. Oh man. Okay. There's the door.
Strangely, the light turned off on its own accord, and a lot of people said that it was likely due to an electrical issue. However, people don't take into consideration that Looker 2 had to go and physically flick the light switch, meaning that something else must have physically moved it too. Furthermore, it was followed by even more disruptive activity, proving that the light event was not in isolation, meaning it could not have been a coincidence. This was definitely a spiritual scenario, and everything points towards that being the case. Matt and his son Hugo were both in bed waiting for the mother of the house to arrive home from work. Matt finished his work at roughly 8 p.m, so decided to spend his free hour with his children, although one of them was fast asleep despite such an early hour. Roughly 25 minutes passed since Matt had arrived home, and he was becoming rather frustrated that his wife still wasn't back with them. She was supposed to have finished her shift at 8:15, but that clearly wasn't the case. It was at the peak of Matt's stress that something happened which would trigger his stress levels even more. Have a look.
¿Por qué no dormí ya todavía? ¿Va a dormir? Cargoso, el otro. ¿Ya se durmió, Leandro? ¿Se durmió o no? Capaz que está durmiendo, tú estás jugando con la luz. Quédate ahí, Tobias. No vayas, Tobias, quédate ahí. Quédate ahí, no vengas. Tobias, quédate ahí, no te despiertes, ahí vengo, Tobias, quédate ahí. Ahora voy, Tobias, No te desperté todavía, quédate ahí. Ahora voy yo.
The room that his youngest child was fast asleep in started acting up, and it was almost as if there was something else in there. From the light swinging to the broomstick dropping onto the bed, this was very freaky, especially when taking into account that it occurred within a young child's bedroom. The reason that Matt was so calm throughout this was that he didn't want to disturb his son from sleeping, so tried his best to stay silent. Upon her arrival, Matt's wife was shown the video, and they are now both in contact with several experts to resolve the issue, so I wish them the best of luck. A single father had recently moved into a brand new property with his daughter, but they had no idea of its history before making the purchase. It was built in the late 1900s, and it was supposed that somebody had died inside of the basement during its construction. Upon further research, the father realized that this story was true, and considering a lot of mysterious things were happening inside of the house, he was able to piece 2 and 2 together. This location was beyond haunted, and the entity haunting it was none other than the construction worker. This is when he came to the decision to take out his camera and run an experiment with his daughter, and this is how it ended up going.
Okay, so there's been a lot of paranormal creepy stuff that's been happening in my basement because when my basement was being built, somebody died down here, and my house was built in 1982. Oh, my door just moved. Okay, it's kind of creepy. Is anybody in there? Should I go in there?
I guess, yeah. Let's look.
Nobody's in there. Behind the door. Well, this really doesn't have anything in it. Okay, maybe we should just go back out now.
can't. Yeah, let me turn on the night.
Okay.
Wait.
Is it on? Is night vision on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. God, the chair's moving. Okay.
Fortunately, the experiment was a huge success, and all sorts of unorthodox things happened around the house. First of all, the door to the bathroom opened on its own accord, and it was evident that no visible forces were being applied to it. In between that, quite a few frightening things happened, and at the very end, they heard noises from upstairs. All of this put together made for a great video documenting their experience to post to social media, but they were nowhere near finished there. They wanted to do another test to make their viewers certain that they were actually experiencing a haunting, and this one was much more accurate. This time around, they decided that the father was going to come into the room at a random point of the day and start filming his daughter to see if they could catch the ghost in its acts once again. Making predictions, they both thought that the spirit would never show itself on camera again, and they weren't too far-fetched to say that. However, that by no means implies that they were right. Take a look.
What you doing, Catherine?
Playing a game.
Yeah, where's everybody at?
Upstairs. I've been playing, I've been hearing a whole bunch of weird stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's kind of creeping me out, so, I don't know, this game's getting really boring. Let's just turn this off. Okay. Oh my god, this is so scary, isn't it?
What was that?
Whoa. It just fell. Whoa. Should I pick it up?
It's all by itself. The chair just moved.
Whoa. Okay. It's kind of creeping me out. Let's go this way. Oh, I just feel like I got stuck in the stomach. And chair. The door's opening. Oh my god.
Did that door just open by itself?
Yeah. Let's just go into this room here. The light's not working. We're gonna need the night vision here.
Why isn't the light working?
I don't know. It's just not working.
Alright, hang on. Let's see here if I can find
Is it on?
Okay.
Okay, let's just start looking around and see if anything moves in here. So actually pay attention to everything. I don't even know what these are up here.
Wait, what's going on over here?
Moving? Holy cow.
Go look over there. Let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go.
It is arguable that the poltergeist was much more prominent in this video, as it was able to perform more acts than last time. It seemed that no matter where the father panned the camera, something out of the ordinary happened, and it was evident that the man who passed away inside of their basement was not pleased with the ghost life in the slightest. There was no need to take it out on the family living there, though. If its goal was to drive them out, then it was failing, because the father was adamant on not letting the spirit get its own way with things. This is why he discontinued the experiments and stopped giving it attention entirely. For a week or so, this did the trick, and none of them witnessed anything of the paranormal sort. That was until the daughter was filming a Snapchat video for her friends. She was innocently dancing and sharing the video to a group chat full of her friends, but clearly the spirit was not fond of the idea of fun, because it closed the door. It was very lucky that the girl was able to capture this on camera, because it was a rather spontaneous event, and it was able to be uploaded onto YouTube. This saga is horrible, and if any more videos end up being uploaded, I will include it in future videos, so make sure to subscribe. Now this next video shakes things up a little bit, and might not actually have been caused by something of a paranormal nature. All I am going to say is that it sounded a little bit too real to have been a ghost. The time was 11 p.m. and Racy, a professional dancer, was recording a video to post to social media where she educated people on how to perform a certain dance. Rather than doing this for monetary gain, she did it out of pure passion, which is why many people followed her. But this time, something else overpowered her moves, and it was something much scarier.
Estuve explicando estos pasos y de pronto.
2 y 1, 2, 3. Hacemos 3 laterales. Igual mi compañera. 1.
A loud and deathly scream echoed around the apartment complex, and it was almost as if somebody had been killed. It is important to know that the place of which this occurred was known to be haunted, so this was not a standalone event, but no screams had been reported there, so if it was one of the well-known ghosts, it did something new. This is why many people believe a ghost did not cause this, and it was a real person, but I guess I am going to have to leave that one up for discussion to remain without bias. On July the 6th of 2025 at roughly 7 p.m., Kyle Anthony heard some noises in his garage that caught his attention quickly. For those of you who are new to the channel, Kyle is far from a newcomer to the paranormal, and this garage saga has been going on for quite some time. In his garage lies the entrance to his attic, which will randomly start shaking without any visible force being applied onto it. Kyle has ventured up into the attic a few times, and came across a box containing a doll with no eyes to which he believes is causing events like this to happen.
We meet again, rattling attic door. It's been a while, and I'm not going in there. Gosh dang it. I'm not going in there, y'all. I'm sick of this shit.
As I said, the attic entrance rattled really aggressively, and it was as if an angry person was causing it, but obviously, there was no person on the camera. Unlike the other occasions though, Kyle decided that he had finally had enough with this spirit, and was no longer going to blindly buy into its bait and enter the attic. Every time he did this, it seemed that things became worse overnight, and he was a man who learned from his mistakes rather than repeating them. I hope that ignoring the spirit does the trick for Kyle, and all of these things stop happening to him. If you have ever watched a video on my channel before, then the likelihood is that you have heard of the most appeared YouTuber on here, the Midwest Ghost Hunter, whose real name is Ian. He does all sorts of long explorations of haunted hellholes and uploads videos of up to 2 hours documenting the experiences, and they seem to get more frightening every time. The one that I am going to expose you to shortly does not break that trend. It took place in an abandoned and hence haunted asylum that was known for being ridiculed with ghostly activity. Ian was brave to visit this place, let alone stay there for as long as he did, but we have to thank him because he was able to capture this.
Dang, it is creepy out here. Not as creepy as in there, though. Not by a long shot. Hopefully this wind doesn't mess up the audio too bad. Hello, is anyone out here? Willow scouting? Are you out here working? There it is, guys. That is one creepy barn. Willows, if you're in that barn, could you come out and talk to me? Get my flashlight out here. Hello? Willows, if you're in here, could you show yourself? Are you in here? If you're in here, could you make a noise? Whoa. That came from above. What the heck is that? Willows, is that you working up there? Are you still baling hay? Yup. Whoa. Dude, he just responded. I swear to God, I just heard a yup. Thanks for talking with me, Willows. What was it like falling from that window? What happened? Holy crap. I can hear him up there. But there's really no way I can get up there. Unless I'm freaking Spider-Man. There's no way to get up there. It literally sounds like he's just pounding away up there. Doing something. God, I wish I could see up there. I know. There's that window out here. I could look up at that. Willows, are you up there, buddy? Whoa. I just heard his voice. I heard a voice shout from up there. Did he just shout at me through the window? Willows, if you're up there, could you look out the window? No way. No way. Dude, I just saw him in there. Holy shit, dude, he just peeked out from the freaking window. Oh my God. Dude, that was so insane.
It is certainly safe to call this the most frightening clip captured and showcased on my entire channel. Not only was Ian able to get literal words out of the spirit, but it somehow became visible for a split second, proving its presence to the world. This was the definition of a haunting, and if you want to see more clips captured by Ian, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, because he is featured in practically every video that I upload. A husband and wife had been dealing with some rough paranormal activity, and it had gotten to the point that they had to leave their house for a few days. As they were leave-puffing though, the husband turned around and caught a snapshot of a face in the window before it quickly vanished. They went back inside the house to record and see if anything was actually inside of it, or whether it was a concerning shadow, and this is what happened in the home. They heard noises in the room whilst their dog was barking, and this was too coincidental to not have been a paranormal presence. The husband tested his luck and logged onto the camera app to see if he could witness anything else, and the figure of a ghostly woman could be seen looming in the corner. They quickly took their children out of the house and left it for a weekend. We can only hope that the spirit is gone once they arrive back. Every Sunday without fail, Thomas, a man who despised his job, made the absolute most of his day off by tapping into his inner alcoholic. Him and some friends would always join a call on their devices and play all sorts of games together, such as Call of Duty and Fortnite. But whenever they got a kill, they had to have some alcohol. This gave Thomas a reasonable excuse as to why he saw something that he assumed to be paranormal, and he blamed it on the drunkenness. But due to capturing it on camera, we know that this was not the case.
It's a fucking Sunday, dude. Do it again, bitch. My God! Oh my God. Okay, that was... I mean, it's not worth the fact that you broke my glass, dude. That was like 1,500 points at Dave & Buster's. That's a feat. Dude, you have to do some extra shit. Let's do some examinations, bro. I'm tripping out actually pretty hard. I just kind of want to get up.
The poltergeist threw 2 glasses alongside a valuable item on the floor, and it is safe to say that Thomas was pretty annoyed by this sudden outburst. He came to the conclusion that the beer had led him to seeing this, but once he rewatched the footage a day later, he was truly spooked and uploaded it to YouTube. In the following video, a young boy called Ricky was doing some homework at his work desk when the most unexpected thing possible happened. He claimed that the cup beside his computer had moved on its own accord, and this is what beckoned him to start recording. If he hadn't captured this on film, then nobody would have believed him, but fortunately, he did, and we are lucky enough to be able to watch it. Before I show you the video though, if you have any paranormal clips and would like me to break them down in a future video for you, then send the footage to hauntedforofficial@gmail.com and give me the story of what happened. Have a look.
Right now I saw this cup just move and I got scared, man. I've seen strange things going on in my house, so maybe, I don't know what could happen, but... Whoa! Whoa! What's that? What was that? Oh, it's moving. Whoa. What's that, man? Oh, snap!
Strangely, the cup fell to the ground not once but twice, but many people have tried to debunk this event. Heaps of people claim that the cup could have easily had an attached string because the camera quality was so low, but no matter how far you zoom into it, this is not the case. It was pretty evident that no visible force acted upon Ricky's cup, meaning he must have encountered a ghost. Ricky has not suffered from anything similar since. Donna Ayers has been on the paranormal radar for quite some time now and has made appearances on some of the oldest videos on my channel. This is because her house is haunted, and whilst she is pretty certain that the culprit of all the hauntings is her passed-away husband, the events still instill fear into her nonetheless. The video that you are about to see took place in a planned attempt to capture the ghost in action, and it went pretty well for Donna.
Just doing a bit of the Ouija board and my key started moving, so I thought I'd just record it. It was just strange. I've had this before with the keys though, nothing new really. They moved just as I was putting the Ouija board on the table. There you go. Told you. And I don't really give a shit what you people think either, because it's happening. Hello? Knock the keys off.
She wanted the spirit to move the keys after incentivizing it through the use of a Ouija board, and it listened. A spirit that listens to its victims is quite a rare occurrence, hence why Donna believed it came from her husband followed by the fact the hauntings started shortly after he left the world. This is the only reason that Donna has not decided to banish the spirit, but it is seriously getting her close to considering it. Being a fireman is one of the most respected jobs in society, and this is because you are going out of your way to save people's lives. Day by day, these people are put into life-threatening situations to save others and do not get paid the amount that they should, considering they could die on the job, but they continue their good deeds nonetheless. The piece of footage that I am going to expose you to took place in the midst of a fire and was recorded by somebody who worked within the fire service. It is important to note that they were 100% certain that there was nobody in the building at the time, and there are no logical explanations for what happened.
Okay. I'm gonna try and walk in and see what it's like. It's pretty great.
Oh, it's been down low.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look through the window. It's like exploding. Hold your breath and go look. Just make sure you can get out because it's pretty cute. It's pretty amazing inside there. Did you look in the doorway?
Yeah, flames are coming out.
No, better not be.
Grand Bottom better be out there. We're out. Yeah, hey, Grand Autumn, go get out.
Woo! It's getting out of hand right now. Hey, the water's dripping off the house is hot. Whoa. Whoa, you hear that? Gee whiz. It's like busting the glass out. Look at that. Gee, you hear it?
The fireman decided that he was going to investigate the building as his unit had only just arrived on scene and the fire was pretty strong. Little did he know that as he entered the building, some sort of shadow figure would peek out from behind the doorway before taking cover again. The worker told all of his colleagues about what he saw and even showcased the footage to them, which incentivized them to search the building a second time for any people. But again, nobody was found. This must have been a ghost. It was the day before Halloween, and two hikers set out on a long trip to a rural area in Scotland. That evening there was a storm due, but they had the gear that they needed, so were able to push on and not give up on their adventure. Eventually, they came across an old house that had been around since the 1800s. Due to the torrential conditions, they decided to enter this place to take cover from the oncoming storm, but little did they know the weather would be so bad that they would not be able to leave. Furthermore, they had no idea that there was a spirit present.
Found the bothy book. You put my glasses on now to find as a bat. So this is popular, quite a popular bothy by the looks of it. Someone actually stayed last night. It was nice and tidy when we came in. So plaudits to whoever stayed here last night. Well done. Absolutely spotless. Whoa. Hold on a minute. Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm out. Whoa. I'm out of here. No.
Right, you can't see us here, but we just ran out of this room there. That was totally weird. The door just started to move on its own, and then it just pretty much slammed shut. I mean, Marty's out there.
It moved something in the room which put both of them on high alert, but the least they expected was for the door to move on its own accord. They tried to escape the facility, but to their disappointment, the wind was pushing against the door, which meant they could not close it. This was not a good situation.
I mean, I don't particularly believe in ghosts, and if there's more, so we're kind of thinking that it might have been just like the backdraft of the wind. I mean, there's a storm going on outside, so
yeah. But I still don't believe it was the wind, but it's the only when the wind's blowing that strong outside, and there's no, it's the only rational explanation, even though I'm not even looking at that. No, I'm not looking at it. It's moving, right? So, I'm honest, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go.
This can't be right.
I'm not. It's black in here as well. I can't see a thing.
So there's a chair over there, and it just started to move, which is
no way. I'm not even. No.
This is bonkers.
I'm not having any part of this.
That is moving. It is moving, that chair is moving.
Just leave it.
Oh, Christ.
After this incident, the location had a blackout and all electricity stopped working, including the cameras. They both went to bed in nothing but fear that night and left first thing in the morning for obvious reasons. The following clips took place in an abandoned Japanese hotel that has had many reports regarding hauntings in the past. The hotel has become so famously known for its evil and disturbing nature that the owners needed a plan to keep getting customers, and so they turned its whole selling point into the fact it was haunted and raised the prices. This duo decided to visit the hotel for a YouTube video, and what they caught was expected, considering the environment, but still spooky nonetheless. Take a look.
ちょっと待って。何？音が。ちょっと。うわ。
The woman was locked in a room by Herschel for experimental purposes, and she heard a bang that happened for unknown causes. It switched to the man's POV, which confirmed nothing around could have made this sound happen, but that was not all.
で、その返答が返ってちょっと待って。どうした？どういうこと？ ちょっと待ってね。え、開いたし、は
鍵が
震えようや。
ちょっと待って。
ちょっと、俺も、はどういうこと？
わからん。どういうこ
震えようし。マジか。
と？SP をつけたまま。いや、なんかね。ちょっと怖い。
なんでどういうこと？状況説明して。
ちょっと待って。
いやいや、落ち着いてからでいい。
こんばんは。今、こちらの部屋に誰かいますか？なんかね、音がするの。誰かいたら反応をお願いします。なんでここで？ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっとやばい。何？ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっと無理。あ、スピボが。ちょっと待って。なんで？鍵が開かない。どういうこと？マロー。やばい。来て。ちょっと待って。なんで？開かない。鍵が開かん。どういうこと？マジでガチでやばい。どうしよう。スピードもつけたまま。ちょっと待って。おかしいよね。なんで？どういうこと？やばい。マジで早く来て。なんで？開いた。鍵が。
震えようよ。焦ったなんかと思った。一旦落ち着こう。ちょっと待って。焦った。めっちゃ走った。いや、俺もさ。
ちょっと待って。
俺もジンバルがおかしくなったんよ。
どんって音がしたんよ。大きい。
あれここやった？
多分分からん。こっちから聞こえて。
扉のとこ？
扉か分からんけど、そこ座っとったんよ。で、大きい音がして、その前にも音はしよったんよね。
俺もドンと聞こえた。
で、ドンってもうやばいと思って、でちょっとスピードしよったんよね。でやばい
いと思ってもう逃げてしまったんよ私。
あ、音で。
音でびっくりして。
あ、じゃあさっきの音だ。
じゃあもう鍵が閉まった。
俺すんなり開いたの。
鍵が閉まっちゃうんかわからん。鍵が閉まったのかどうかわからんけど、あかんかったのこれが。鍵をこうカチャカチャしよって。
なんで？
それでもあかんで。
俺来たらすんなり開いたよね。
ちょっとわからん。
All sorts of haunting things happened, and after all of this, they decided to make their way back home. The hotel lived up to its name of being extremely haunted with sounds and moving objects, so even the most brave of ghost hunters would not have coped. Each and every video at the moment includes a clip from Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter. One of his more recent explorations came in a haunted manor that was local to him, and after a lot of research, he decided to give it a search. This adventure has conjured up countless amazing clips of haunted activity that we have explored, and the one here does not disappoint either. Have a look.
What else does he have in here? Anything in there? No. Oh, gross. What is that? What does it look like? Almost like fingernail clippings in there. Yeah, I'm definitely not touching those. What is that? Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? What was that? It's the coat hanger! How do you explain that? Oh, I'm sorry, Hank. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I'll leave you alone if you want me to. Do you want me to leave? Okay. I'm leaving.
Ian entered the bedroom of one of the children in the manor, and he expected this place to be the least haunted in the building. To his dismay, though, it did not live up to his hypothesis. A clothing hanger launched itself out of a drawer onto the floor in front of Ian, and it jump-scared him, rather than straight up putting him into fear. This was a mysterious event, and he was lucky to have caught it on camera. In the following video, a recent university graduate was in his new home when he decided to document what he believed to be a haunting. Over the past few days, he had been hearing thudding sounds from a room nearby to his bedroom and knew that nobody or nothing should have been in the household with him. On this particular evening, it started again, and he came to a strong decision. He was not going to tolerate this anymore and was going to investigate instead. With that, he took his camera and he left his room. This is what he was able to find.
Hey guys, it's Blackwing96, and I've been hearing some bumping noises upstairs, like right where my room is. I'm just gonna take a look at. Come on. Okay. Like, what the f was that? You guys hear that, right? Okay. That bottle of Windex was right here. I left it there this morning. It was right there. My room's kind of messy right now because blizzards and such and shit like that. I don't really know what I'm supposed to say. Oh, can you do that again? Fuck this.
The thudding led him to a room where all sorts of items had moved, and it was obvious that something had been in there. For a brief moment, he believed that a squatter or somebody along those lines had infiltrated the building, but that was far from what was actually going on. A piece of china slid across the desk, and bravely, the man recording the incident asked the poltergeist to do this another time. To his fortune, it listened and threw the china cup off from the counter whilst on camera. After this whole situation, he sprinted back to his room and tucked himself away in bed, hoping to sleep all of this torment away. He was able to do this for one night, with no disruptions entering his place of rest, but it would only be one day later that the spirit took it upon himself to enter his bedroom. The time was 7 o'clock in the evening, and the man was just watching some television when this happened.
I just came home and I heard some footsteps, some bumping noises upstairs, so I ran and got my camera, and I felt some wind blowing, so I started to film, and it was like in this direction over here. It was like the curtains were moving over there and the window's shut, so I'm just going to film over here and see if I can get a response to whatever's moving. Okay. If you're here, give us a sign. Me a sign. Okay. I promise I'm not going to run this time. There's no reason to run. Holy shit. Okay, I don't think one can do that. There was something holding the door shut and it just flew out. Okay, I'm going to my room now. Okay. That was by far the freakiest thing that's ever happened to me. I promised myself if anything like that happened, I would continue filming and not run. Unlike last time. So, yeah, I guess, I don't know.
Strangely, all sorts of things moved in the room without any sort of human intervention, and it was clear that there were no strings of any sort attached. Whilst this scenario did frighten the man behind the camera, he was fortunately able to remain calm and stable throughout this event, which is really impressive. I hope that he never has to go through anything like this ever again. Lainey and Ben were a happily married couple who viewed each other very early into their relationship. Their parents were quite unsupportive of this decision, but they were going strong regardless. That was until they discovered that their rented property was far from welcoming. Over time, they started to realize that there was some sort of spiritual presence inside of the place, but due to their contract with the landlord, they were not allowed to leave just yet. So despite the video that you are about to watch being scary, they were forced to prevail.
What the hell? Shut up. What the hell? Did you see it?
You couldn't miss it? Or we've got to watch that back.
Was that a shadow just then?
Where?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Now there was a range of sounds coming from upstairs that indicated something else was in the property. Lainey and Ben bravely approached the scene to see if they could catch whatever had broken in, but to their dismay, it was something worse than a squatter. The door opened on its own accord, and a shadow could be seen gliding up the staircase that only had one explanation for existing: a poltergeist. As I mentioned earlier though, the duo were bound by their contract to keep paying rent for this house for at least 2 months. They could have moved out but would be paying huge bills for no reason, so decided to make do. The ghost did not make this task easy though, and just a day later, tormented them again. This time it was rattling and pounding upon the exact same door, but when Ben went to open it, nothing happened on the other side. Instead, a door across the entire sitting room began to do the same thing, and this is when he decided that he had enough. A home is not a home if you cannot feel safe, and so he contacted a ghost hunter and paid them $200 to eradicate the spirit, which was a successful operation, in the short term, at least. For the next few weeks, absolutely nothing abnormal occurred inside of the house, and both Lainey and Ben truly believed that the place had been cleansed, and they cancelled all plans regarding moving out over the coming months. Little did they know that it was way too soon to make decisions of that size, because unfortunately, the ghost came back, and this time stronger than before. Ben was enjoying his peace, whilst he was home alone without a spirit to haunt him. He was being productive, watching YouTube while editing his own video at the same time, but this peace would end in a matter of minutes.
This cupboard door's just opened. I'm just sat here watching some YouTube and editing up a video, and I was just sat here at the corner of my eye, just saw it open, and I heard these fall. One of these cupboard doors is opened. You can tell by the cupboard door, like, you know, bro. Oh my God.
This time items other than the doors started moving on their own accord, and it was a horrible experience for Ben. The stress going through his mind was immense, because he truly thought he was at peace, and escaped the life of a poltergeist living with him. This just was not the case though. He and Lainey decided to write a letter to the landlord, telling him why they needed to escape the house and that the living conditions were insufferable. Due to there not being enough evidence to make this legally required though, the landlord decided to reject the proposal and continue to rack in the cash. I truly wish Ben and Lainey a safe few months, and hopefully the poltergeist moves on to more deserving prey. On May the 8th of 2022, a viral video was uploaded to YouTube, and it was terrifying to say the least. It was posted by a channel called Japanese Horror Entertainment, and as you probably know based on the title of this video, it was regarding a haunted occurrence. The specific member of the channel who recorded this video was called Omega Toki, and he was a profound ghost hunter in the country of Japan. He was known for his cheap prices in eradicating spirits, in order to help those suffering in poorer financial situations tackle their haunting situations, and he did a very good job. The clip that I am about to expose you to took place in a client's house that was supposedly home to a really agitating ghost.
人の名前。さとこさんって言ってるのかな。さとこさん。待って。ちょっと待って。今ハワイって聞こえたよね。まだ開いてないけど。
The ghost seemed to be angered by the presence of a ghost hunter, and Omagatoki was simply gathering evidence of its existence so that he could research it more. This research would help him later banish the ghost from the property. Despite the activity the ghost showed here, it was unfortunately unidentifiable, meaning the ghost hunter had to banish it with no information on its power. Fortunately, he succeeded though, and the house was cleansed and made safe for the owners to move back into. Johan was your regular local store owner, and the locals loved talking to him when they came into the store to buy their items. He was kind to everybody, and there was literally no reason not to like him, which made it ever more saddening that the spirit we are about to see cause havoc made him its target. The time was around midday, and Johan was stocking the shelves directly in front of the security camera. He was extremely fortunate that he was in this position when the poltergeist struck, because CCTV managed to detect all of it, so have a look. If you paid really close attention, then you should have noticed the hood of Johan getting pulled by seemingly nothing. However, as we all know, physics would not allow that to happen. There must have been someone or something acting upon the coat to have caused the hood to make this movement, but no matter how much Johan slowed down the footage and zoomed in, he was not able to make out what. The following video was recorded in the kitchen and has been analyzed by many experts in the paranormal field. Every single one of them says that the clip is a real haunting, so you can't really argue with that statistic. The man who owned the house was watching television in the living room when he heard someone or something pottering around the kitchen. He was completely certain that nobody else was in the house, so in a state of confusion, he went to investigate when this happened.
Keep hearing these noises. Let's check it out. Whoa. Whoa. Good, turn this light on so I can see. Oh, that's crazy. Don't know what that is. See if it does it again.
As well as the clear ghost orbs floating around the room, actual things were happening. Strangely, the kitchen cabinets opened and closed repeatedly, as if a person was controlling them, but it was beyond evident that there was not a human causing this. That left only one possible solution, and it was a poltergeist in the house to which the man cannot trick his mind into believing. So he has decided to tick this off as a one-off incident, not to be taken too seriously. On September the 23rd of 2015, a video was uploaded to YouTube that would frighten a large majority of its viewers. It was filmed and uploaded by a man called Adam, and bear in mind that before this video was posted, he had never fallen victim to paranormal incidents before. Adam was on the toilet doing his business while scrolling on TikTok when he suddenly snapped out of the doom scroll to the noise of two people having a discussion in his kitchen. No one else was home at the time, making things really creepy for him, so he quickly finished up what he was doing and went to have a look. This is what he was able to find.
Hello? Oh shit. Shit. What the f is this shit? No way. No way. I'm up. Yeah.
Instead of his two family members coming home early, Adam walked into a room of utter chaos. All sorts of items fell to the ground, and the levels of paranormal activity must have been very high for this to happen. Weaker ghosts become tired after one or two movements, but this one moved at least 4 items, meaning it was either very powerful or there were several. Whichever one of these outcomes is the truth is just as terrifying for Adam and his family, though, of which I strongly advise they take action. It was just shy of 2 o'clock in the morning, and Brenton Tom had been woken up by some mysterious sounds coming from outside of his room. These sounds were unidentifiable for him, and no matter how closely he listened or squinted into the doorway, he just couldn't work out what it was. In case something bad was about to happen in the outcome of this, Brenton made sure to take out his mobile phone to record the situation, and he was very lucky that he did, because he was able to capture this clip.
Alright, it's me, Brenton, as you can tell. Is the lighting good? I can't tell. Anywho, I'm making this video because I heard some noises before, and we were kind of talking about ghosts and stuff. So I was gonna see if I can, like, you know, capture some stuff, because it's kind of spooked. I feel a little safer with the camera going, you know, even though whatever. But here, let me show you really quick. Alright, so I heard the noise over there. That's the cabinet that I took those photos of. As you can see, the time right now is, let's focus for a second, there we go, 1:48 in the morning, almost 2, and wait, see that? There's something. What is that noise? there. That's just my shadow. That's me right there, so no worries there. What the hell is that?
When Brenton started the recording, the thuds did not stop, which actually went against his predictions that they would when a camera came out. Towards the end of the video, an even stranger thing than some sounds happened to him though. Somehow, the door to his cabinet opened on its own accord, and it was evident that no visible forces were interacting with it. Brenton also felt a cold and spine-tingling feeling run down his chest during this incident, leading me to further believe that this series of events was caused by a being that isn't from our realm, a spiritual being. When somebody realizes that their house is haunted, they tend to contact some form of ghost hunter or expert who can aid them in getting rid of, or at least coping with the spirit. However, there is a huge negative to this, and that is that most of the hunters out there require a file of evidence in order to proceed with the task. The average requirement is roughly 3 clips, but if one is top-notch, then they will usually let a client off, but charge higher. This is because they do not want to waste their time with fake ghosts. The man in our next clip had been haunted for a while, so decided to record for 5-minute intervals at random points of the day, and this time, when he decided to do it, something actually followed. Take a look.
Someone in the door. Wait, whoa. Cough. Cough. Hey! Cough. Oh.
The cutlery was formed in some form of odd pattern that after analysis from experts could be interpreted in evil ways. It took the form of a supposed symbol that represented Satanism, but I don't know to what extent this is truthful. What I do know is that the fact these items were perfectly balanced alone must have been way too hard for a human to do, which acts as further evidence that it was done by a ghost. Fortunately, the ghost hunter also accepted this as liable evidence and is set to visit them in a week's time, so I wish the family the best of luck in dealing with this ghost. Liv and her boyfriend Jacob have been in a predicament for a long time regarding their haunting because they have no idea what to do about it. Roughly 2 months ago, Liv noticed the first ever weird thing happen inside of their house, which was a sofa moving an inch without any of them touching it, and since then, the events have carried on coming. Liv decided to start documenting the incidents through TikTok so that people could be made aware of what they were going through, and it gets decent views with the upcoming clip being one of the posts on the account. Here it is.
There's no one, literally no one. There's no one out here.
Out of nowhere, sounds started coming from the other side of the door, and it opened on its own accord. Liv's boyfriend, Jacob, was not home during this instance because he was out at a party and left her to take care of the house. In order to prove to her viewers that it was real, she went to the door and searched the adjacent room, but it was no surprise that nothing was on the other side. Hopefully, the couple find a solution to the whole situation that does not involve money, because that is the main reason that they can't get the place purified. Losing a loved one is a horrible feeling that I am lucky enough to not have felt yet. The woman in the following video was a mother of 2, but unfortunately divorced her husband for reasons that have not been disclosed publicly. After the divorce, her husband went on to live a single life, but she was different and quickly found a replacement, becoming the stepfather of the kids, and they both loved him as if he was blood. As if the world was against the woman though, her new love of her life passed away just 3 months after they got together, but he was not gone forever, and this video proved that.
Is that you, Bill? Yes? No? Bill? Can you get closer? Is that you? Baby, is that you? Turn it on and off again. Bill? Is that you coming through there? I love you. Come back on. There you go. Bill? Maxie? Are you together? Yes? Come back on. Once for yes, Bill. Yes? Is Max with you? Once, yes? Where's Maxie? With you? Bill? Are you there? Turn it off again. Bill? Is Max with you? Are you gone? Found something you can get up, come on and off with, huh?
It was no coincidence that the light kept changing after questions were asked, which meant that this could not have been an electrical issue and was in fact much deeper. If the stepfather's goal was to make his girlfriend more at ease and content, it failed because she was really frightened at the idea of a ghost being inside of her house. And being honest, can you really blame her? Early on a Sunday morning in Santa Cruz, 2 people were in the car, driving home from a concert. The time was exactly 12:30 a.m., and they had a spectacular time at the concert, singing along to every single line from the artist. However, they had no clue what was coming for them. During the ride home, they couldn't stop discussing the concert and their favorite parts, which meant that the sadness of not being there anymore was starting to kick in. Something was about to make their mood go even lower though, and it was something that they caught in the right mirror here.
Because our time to like go and hang out. Yeah, I'm not even on the gas right now. So yeah.
Someone was in the middle of the fucking road.
Yeah, I'm not even on the gas right now. So.
All coasting, it's all gravity. You look at 35, you're high, let's put that in. You okay? Someone was in the middle of the fucking road. Oh shit. You okay? You're okay. You're okay. Breathe, baby. Breathe, 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 breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe.
Out of nowhere, a man could be seen walking across the highway, and they were not visible until the car was right next to him, almost as if he just appeared out of thin air. The person was disturbingly close to the vehicle, and the family were extremely lucky that they didn't crash from pure shock, because I know a lot of people who would. The Midwest Ghost Hunter is a man braver than everybody watching this video, combined because he goes to haunted locations all across the Midwest regions of America for his money. The craziest part is that he doesn't even get paid much from this professionalism, and would probably get more money in the bank account working a 9 to 5. Regardless of how much money the Midwest Ghost Hunter makes, you have to see him as a brave man, though, and this clip is a perfect showcase of exactly why this is the case. Have a look.
Oh my god. There are literal bodies in here. That is terrifying. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're fake. Better make sure, just to be safe. Yeah, that's plastic. That is still unbelievably creepy. This must be the makeshift morgue. The morgue where they stacked bodies. Right here. It was right along this wall. Are there any spirits of those who were kept down here? I'll go and do some photography. What is that? Floating right there. Dude, that was a straight up shadow. It was just behind that door. Oh god. Who's over here? There's nothing here now. Oh my gosh. There's a little shadow floating right in this doorway. It's like a shadowy blob floating in midair. Oh god, I think I know exactly what it is. It's that freaking creeper. Oh god. I was out here. Where'd you go, creeper? You shadowy entity thing? Oh, dude, I caught it again. It's down the freaking hole. It's floating in midair. Oh my god. You can see it. It's on one side, and then the next one, it's on the other side. Dude, this thing is bolting around everywhere. What are you? Are you a human entity? You definitely don't seem human.
The Midwest Ghost Hunter was taking pictures of the scene because he liked photo evidence for his video thumbnails when all of a sudden he noticed a shadow blob moving around. He believed that the blob represented a ghost, and it was not a silly thing to make of it. It was very much surreal. If you enjoyed this clip from the Midwest Ghost Hunter, be sure to subscribe so you get to see his clips in future videos. The following video was captured by Sam, and he was not new to the paranormal world. In fact, he could be considered an expert. For 2 long and draining months, Sam had been constantly hit with paranormal surges in his house, and he has no idea where all of this sparked from. Before this time period, he didn't even believe in ghosts, but throughout it, they have become his biggest fear. Anyways, one of his big dreams was to catch his spirit doing its acts on camera, but to his dismay, every single time that he pressed record, the sequences stopped. However, one day this didn't happen, and Sam finally got the footage that he had been gunning for such a prolonged period. Take a look. All around him, things were happening, and so much occurred in such a short span of time. He was walking around the house to make sure that everything he needed to get on video was caught, and it is safe to say he had a lot of evidence of this spirit's existence. As well as uploading it to social media, he also contacted a ghost hunter and showed them the clip, which was able to get him an appointment. We wish Sam the best in banishing this long-serving spirit. On January the 14th of 2008, which is a very long period of time ago, a group of friends decided that they were actually going to investigate something weird that was going on. They were doing a common method of living for young people called rent splitting, where a group of friends all pay an equal amount to live in a home. Little did any of them in this situation know that the house they split on was a hellhole for ghosts. At random intervals, the people in the house would hear noise coming from the basement, and whenever they checked, things moved. One day, they took a camera with them and went to investigate the scene. This is how that turned out.
We've lived here for about a year, and we always hear noises coming from this place. We think it's a cat, but we go in there and stuff moves, and we turn on the lights and we look all over. There's no cats or there's no mice. There's no animals at all. You can't find any. But if you just sit there and wait, you see things actually move, and it's like you know, you shine lights everywhere, you can't see anything.
Turn on your flashlight. Okay.
No, but seriously, dude, if you die, I have to go home, and that's not very fun.
No, that's hilarious.
They locked it. What the fuck? This is so fucking
No, it's not locked, dude. Check it out. Do it again. Say that again.
This is so fucking creepy.
Dude, somebody's told to live down here.
All right, wait. Where? Okay.
What are you doing? Is it on?
Yeah, what's going on?
Dude, I'm not going in there.
I'm not going. You're freaking go.
Nicole, I think you should go.
Dude, there's spider webs. You know what?
All right, dude, fuck it. Let's
I'm
leave.
just afraid of spiders. Dude, come on.
What? All right, let me get some footing here. It's kind of hard.
Dude, just go. Hurry up.
You fucking go.
Oh shit! Dude! What the fuck? What was? Get it! Go!
Just like usual, something out of the ordinary happened, and they were all taken aback by this, the project leader specifically. He was the bravest of the bunch and decided to enter the main basement first, but the poltergeist made it really apparent that he was not welcome there. Wisely taking the hint, they all agreed that they should make their way back to the main house for safety and would never investigate the basement ever again. The sounds kept coming for the following week, and it was almost as if the poltergeist was begging for them to entertain it again, staying strong to their word, though none of the residents broke the idea and went into the basement. Little did they know that the spirit had power outside of it, and when it got bored, it decided to use that external power.
Yeah, a second ago that this sink was like doing some shit, man. Yeah, I think it looks like on now, like, whoa! Oh! Let's see if it... I don't even like want to touch it. Okay, that's off. Now I turned it all the way on. It's just like sitting there. If you can hear me, show me a sign. Yeah, like that ever works. Oh! Alright, that's enough. Dude, no, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Shit's crazy.
It took it upon itself to mess with the tap and turned it on and off at different speeds. Now many people would pin this to be some form of issue with the pipes, but it doesn't take a genius to disprove this theory. The fact that the man filming had to turn the tap to deactivate it shows that something else must have also physically turned it. This was certainly a ghost. This next clip was recorded by an 11-year-old boy called Thomas, and a lot of people were angered by how he and his mother handled their spiritual encounter. It is important to note that none of them had ever experienced anything like this in the past, and were extremely frightened by what was to come, going as far as wanting to leave the home forever, despite the father of the family disagreeing. It was 10 o'clock in the evening when this happened.
What the heck?
Oh my goodness!
Like, what the heck?
That's spooky. That's spooky.
That is weird.
It's nearly midnight as well.
It is actually, look. Oh my god.
It did it again.
What the hell?
It did it again. Look at the dog. It's freaked out. What is it?
I don't know. No, I don't want to.
Go see what it is.
I don't want to.
Go on.
I'm getting as far back as I can. I'm like against the wall.
It's stopped. It's stopped now.
Yeah.
Go see what it is.
No, it's
Go on.
scary.
Oh! I can hear a noise.
I can hear a noise. I heard it.
Go see what it is. Oh! I saw something come on the bottom.
What? Maxie.
Maxie, get it. Get it,
Maxie, get it.
What is it, Maxie? What is it? Maxie, get it.
What the heck?
What is it? I saw it. Something come out. And then it went back in. Is it a bird? Is there a little bird stuck in there or something?
We don't own a bird.
What about a little ghost
Do you think?
Is it a ghosty?
Like, I don't believe in abnormal stuff, but this is just weird.
Maxie. Maxie.
Maxie, come here.
Maxie.
Get in.
Okay. What's it, Maxie? What's it? In there. Open the cupboard, Ollie. Open it.
No, I don't want
Maxie,
to.
sit. Sit. Sit.
That is actually so weird.
Open the cupboard, Ollie.
I'm gonna kick it.
Open it.
No. I don't want it.
The cupboard was moving as if it was controlling itself, and it was very evident that there was no visible force acting upon it. The reason that this video was followed by a decent amount of outrage is because neither the boy or the mother went to investigate the cupboard, because now there is no proof that this was the act of a poltergeist. For all the audience could know, it was a string system being pulled by somebody behind the cupboard, but I don't buy into that. I think that the only reason they didn't investigate was the factor of fear, and I think in that exact situation, I would be too frightened to open an investigation myself. Sean loved golf, and he was always practicing his technique on video so that he could compare it to celebrities like Tiger Woods and see how he could improve. On the day that the clip I am about to expose you to happened, Sean was doing his usual routine and swinging his club around his sitting room, but this time, he planned to upload it to social media and invite public criticisms. However, he had no idea that this video would garner him some views for different reasons.
Oh. Shut the f up. The f What the fuck? Shut the f
First of all, the golf club perfectly slipped into the rack without any human interaction, and Sean was taken very aback by this. Furthermore, the light above him started swinging rapidly, and sure, in isolation, these events could have been a coincidence, but when combined, a poltergeist interfering was the only possible cause. This was followed up by the cupboard swinging by itself, which topped off the whole incident. Surprisingly, Sean was pleased with all of this because it gave his golfing skills some exposure, but he was frightened in the moment nonetheless. Something that a lot of fridges have that I just cannot bring myself to understand is an interior camera, because who would want to review their fridge footage? The majority of the time you should know what is inside of it, and if you don't, then it is pretty easy to just go to the refrigerator itself, open it, and take a look inside, but some people just don't do this, I guess, including the family in the upcoming video. Their house was ridiculed with cameras because they were the victims of a break-in many years ago and were very precautionary. The cameras never helped with that though. They actually helped them catch a ghost in the act for the following video. Not only was the spirit opening and closing the fright was a creepy enough experience, it was doing it very aggressively. This conveyed the idea that its intentions were nothing but to instill fear and a sense of threat to the family. They sent the video to experts who claimed only a demon could cause movements so powerful, and they had to agree. They are in the process of getting rid of the spirit.